Hi, Bo here from High Tech Investment, and welcome back to the channel. This week again here we have another 4-week review. We are looking back at the results for the Profit Retriever, always for the last 4 weeks, in order to get a better understanding of how well it's actually doing, which ones are the most stable results. And there is very, very good news here for week 20 as things are looking up. As I mentioned here, in the last couple of weeks, we have seen some major drawdowns. So back in April, looks like we are now over the worst of it. We still have a few of the accounts in drawdown. Some of them are a whole lot less than what we have experienced in the past. But it's very, very good to see here now that things are moving forward and it is taking a lot of good trades. Most of our EAs, of course, is back in profit, and you will also see that in this week's results. Now, we're always going to start off with the top 5 first of the week, and why not start with that one? We can see here that the US 30, which is always a very strong one, so that is the US 30 index here, did well with $632 or 6.3% for the week. Aussie Japanese, the number 2 signal here we have, is $572 or 5.7%. Then we have Bitcoin, which continues to impress us after we put it now back on the linking service. It's doing even better, so very nice to see. And we can even see that a lot of new people are coming in, also copying this particular signal here. They would have gotten around $408 or 4.1% for the week. New Zealand Swiss francs, also one of the ones that are normally always cashing in quite nicely, $364 or 3.6%. Then we have Aussie Japanese, $319 or 3.2%. Overall for the top 5 on the week here, they would have made $2,295 or 4.6%, and that is definitely a little bump up, about 10% from where we were last week. Now, we mentioned always the results, so you can actually understand, if this EA is worth anything. And for now, we have basically more than 400 days of data. So on the Profit Retriever, since we started back in March 2022, since then, our homepage here is the main link together with our YouTube channel to show you exactly month by month, week by week, how our results are moving forward. So these particular series here is also on our website. You can find all of them there. We normally only keep the last 4. The rest, of course, will always be available on our YouTube channel. And on top of that, we also do obviously the weekly results similar to what you have seen now. You have a chance also to go in and look at our entire portfolio that continues to both grow in numbers of EA, but also definitely on the profit. Very, very stable. Overall is about 10 and a bit % here. So that is definitely also a proof that is what we are trying to go for without having too much risk involved. And then you also have some guidelines here. If you are trading metal indexes, things like this, or you're trading Forex, you can find more about what we recommend here also to use as an account size. But let's go to the most important thing here in this particular video, and that is having a look at the top 10 signals we have. And you will be amazed here because the profits are up. They are very, very, very stable. So it's great to see. Let's go straight to it. So we are back on our Excel, and as usual, we have the individual parts here where we have the number 1 to 10. We have the currency pairs, so all of them both for the Forex, for Bitcoin, and we also have it for the indexes and metals. We have the individual links that you can also find with the Expert Forex copy link service. And then where the signals were last week, so you can see if they're moving up and down and how stable they are overall. You have the 4 weeks, so at the moment we are looking at week 17 to 20. We have the total sum over here and then total percentage, and we'll go back to the top 5 here. So let's get started, and there's no news on the top 1 spot. It is basically still on the Aussie Japanese Link 98C. It is getting rid of the zeros. It was in a drawdown, so quite a few weeks ago now, almost a month ago. Since then it came back, so very good profits since then. And overall the total sum $2,877 or 28.78% over the last 4 weeks. Definitely still shows you that even though some of the signals can be in drawdown for a while, they will come back, and they will come back and cash in also, so don't despair. The second one is actually also Aussie Japanese. A second link we have set up is also available here on link 129C. It was number 2 last week and it continues to stay there, and you can obviously see why. It is cashing in quite a bit every single week. The lowest ones we had was in week 19, $321. Overall, we are just about $6 shy of the $2,000 mark, 19.94% overall. So that is definitely also a really nice signal at the moment, just cashing in. Bitcoin USD is one that we have been trading for a fairly long time. We thought it was a bit too scary to trade, but we were obviously wrong. We can see how well it's actually doing. It has become link 127C here, and it was number 4 last week, continues to go up. And again, you can see why. It is very, very stable week on week, $1,554 over the last 4 weeks, or 15.54%. Definitely outperforming what we had expected of that particular signal. The FTSE 100, so one of the indexes here, is link 101C. It was 5 last week, so it has moved 1 up. And again, also here, it's cashing in quite nicely, somewhere between a couple of hundred and all the way up to 500. Makes it $1,320 for the last 4 weeks, or 13.21%. So definitely also very nice, stable, and well approved. USD, Swiss francs, is also one that is always up there and cashing in. Link 36C, it was number 6 last week. It has jumped up 1 spot. Here is the profit a bit lower, as you can see, but it had a very good week on week 18 and 19 here, and that made all of it up for $1,237, or 12.38%. And that basically concludes the top 5 of the signals in here. And if we have a look down, we can see that for the last top 5 and the last 4 weeks, if you would have just copied those trades in here, you would have made $8,984, or 17.97%. So that is definitely a nice jump up from the previous weeks when we looked at it. Last week it was about $1,000 lower. Now, if we go to signal number 6, the Aussie USD, link 83C, it has run down a bit on the ranking. It was number 3 last week. Now it's number 6, but as you can see, it's not doing that badly. So it is cashing in. Week 17 was a weak one. Since then, it has been doing quite well. And the last 4 weeks, it actually managed $1,109, or 11.09%. And that means that the stability is still a bit of the key. US Canadian link 74C, which is also a very old link and very, very stable link. It was number 10 last week. It has moved forward. Also here, you can see it's cashing in every single week and making up $938, or 9.38%. So another good and stable result, simply just cashing in every single week. The US 30, number 2, is link 107C. It has moved 1 down from last week, so it is now number 8. But again, the only week that was a bit weak here was 18, and the rest of them, it's doing okay. Week 20 was also a bit of a hit and miss. But when it is cashing in quite nicely. And as you can see, $880, or 8.8%. Is still very much approved. Now we also have a new link, and that is the gold. So XAU USD, and that's why you also have a normal account number for this one at the moment. And we only started trading this one and put it on our portfolio. That's why you don't have any zeros in here. So it is only starting in week 19. It came in with a big bang straight away. Week 20 has also been quite good. So obviously just for trading 2 weeks, $808, or 8.08% is definitely also done. We have seen that gold is doing quite well in the past. If we have a look at the top 10 here, it is Aussie USD, number 2 link. So that will be link 99C. Also, this one here is cashing in very, very nicely. It has only dropped 1 position from last week. And the lowest one, top 10 here, is $768, or 7.68%. And that is definitely also a very good bottom for the top 10. Now, if we have a look at the individual weeks, we can see here that week 17 of those links would have made $2,734, or just over 3%. So definitely a good one. Week 18 is even stronger. That is where most of the signals really have come back into their own right. And it made $4,981, or 5.54%. Week 19, again, a bit weaker than the week before, but again, it made more than $3,000, ended up at $3,180, or 3.18%. And then we have week 20, so which was a bit on the slower side. All depends on volatility, especially when it comes to the profit retriever here. $2,591, or 2.59%. And then the total sum, if you would have traded those 10 coupling service that we have in here, you would have made $13,488, or 13.49%. So this is definitely some good numbers, very good improvements. Don't forget that in the last couple of weeks here, we have been moving around somewhere between 8 to 10,000 when we are looking back at the last 4 weeks. So we are very happy to see the development of our profit retriever, where it has come out of most of the heavy drawdowns that we saw several weeks and now months ago here. So definitely April was not a good month for us, but we can see the stability has returned to it, and that is the most important thing. The next part, of course, is the profit, and you can see that one is also cashing in quite nicely. And that's why you should always make sure that you have a bigger and wider picture, not just looking at individual days where it's cashing in or individual weeks. You have to go a bit broader, have a look at the last 4 weeks. As we mentioned here, it gives you a lot better indicator of where the signals are and how stable they are. And you can even also go to our videos that will show you the first quarters. And once the second quarter is done, we will do another video on this particular one here too. But don't forget that this is not trading advice. This is not investment advice. We are simply showing our results from the profit retriever, which we believe is quite good. You can use all that information to either trade yourself and find exactly the signal, saying, okay, these are the currencies that are doing quite well. I'm going to try and set mine up. Or if you are not really interested in trading it yourself, you can go over to Expert Forex coupling service. You can actually find our signals there. And then you can also decide if you want to use similar risk factor 1 to 1. If you would like to have a bit more profit, then you can go up 2 to 1. Or you can even go the other way around, where you will take a lower risk, but also a lower profit overall. It is entirely up to you. And as we mentioned, this is only for information purposes, nothing else. So we hope that you enjoyed this video. We hope to see you on next week here also, where of course we have more information, more profits on how exactly the profit retriever develops.